February 26th, 2026. Pink grabs her phone. No makeup, no filter, no publicist in the room, just her, and the internet about to lose its mind. She looks straight into the camera and says,
"So I was just alerted to the fact that I'm separated from my husband. I didn't know. Thank you, People Magazine. Thank you, Us Weekly. Thank you for letting me know. I was wondering, would you also like to tell our children? My 14-year-old and 9-year-old are also unaware."
The internet exploded. Some people laughed, some people cheered, and a lot of people wrote, "Finally, we knew this was coming." But here's the thing. Behind that sarcastic kitchen video, there are 25 years of history, 3 breakups, 1 album written in pain, and 1 man she didn't walk away from even when she absolutely had every reason to. Today, I'm not here to tell you whether they split or not. I'm here to tell you the story nobody actually sat down and told, start to finish. Because this one, it's not your typical Hollywood love story. It's something way more interesting than that. Summer of 2001, Philadelphia, the X Games, the Super Bowl of extreme sports, motocross, dirt, adrenaline, and the smell of engine oil in the air. Not exactly the place you picture when you imagine meeting the love of your life, Carey Hart. 25 years old, professional motocross racer. He's about to attempt something no one has ever landed in competition before, a backflip on a 250 cubic centimeter motorcycle. He goes up, 35 feet in the air, and he goes down. Broken ribs, fractured tailbone, right leg, they carry him off on a stretcher. Somewhere in that crowd, a 21-year-old girl named Alicia Moore. The world was just beginning to know her as Pink. She sees him, and something happens. Insiders later said that she actually went to the hospital to see him. This man she barely knew, and Pink herself would say years later that a big part of the initial attraction wore off pretty quickly after a few nights sitting next to his hospital bed. When you see someone broken, literally, the romance fades a little. What's left is something different, something real. They started dating, slowly. No red carpets. She barely had red carpets back then, just 2 young people who found each other in a very strange place. But here's the thing. These 2 almost didn't make it past year 2. 2003. They've been together for 2 years. And quietly, they go their separate ways. No press statements, no dramatic tabloid headlines, no sides of the story, just silence. Pink never fully explained it at the time, and she didn't explain it much afterward either. But those close to them noticed. She was the kind of person who loved too intensely for anyone who wasn't ready for it. Loud, honest, no filter. And Carey was someone who needed room to breathe. 2 very strong personalities, and not enough experience yet to know how to make that work. They split, and for almost a year, nothing, until they ran into each other again. And it started all over, because, as she'd say years later, we just weren't done. June 2005, Mammoth Lakes, California, Carey Hart is racing, and suddenly, right there on the track, he sees her. Pink is standing at the edge of the course, holding up a sign. It reads, "Will you marry me?" Carey looks at her and does another lap. Seriously, he just keeps racing. Pink flips the sign over. The other side reads, "I'm serious." And that's when he stops his bike, walks off the track, and says yes. This is not a movie. This actually happened. And every time I think about this story, I think, this is exactly who these 2 are. No candlelit restaurants, no diamond hidden in a champagne glass, a dusty racetrack, a cardboard sign, and the words, "I'm serious." Carey would later say in an interview that he knew he wanted to spend his life with her within weeks of meeting her. He just knew. They got married on January 7th, 2006. A beach ceremony in Costa Rica. 100 guests. Her in white. Him in everything he always wears. Sounds like a happy ending, right? But you already know. This is only the middle of the story. February 2008. 2 years after the wedding. Pink's rep releases a statement. This decision was made by 2 best friends with a tremendous amount of love and respect. The marriage is over, but their friendship never been stronger. They separated. And you know what she does? She writes a song. So What? One of the most recognizable tracks of her entire career. I just lost my husband, don't know where he went. Angry? Yes. Honest? Completely. But here's the part that throws everyone off. After writing a whole song about how fine she is without him, she called Carey and asked him to be in the music video. Let that sink in. You wrote a breakup anthem about your soon-to-be ex-husband, and then you invited him to star in it. And he said yes. Insiders said that's exactly what made these two different. They could be angry and tender at the same time. They could laugh at the pain before it fully took them down. But behind closed doors, it wasn't as light as it looked, because that same summer, in August 2008, something happened that almost nobody talks about when they tell the story of Pink and Carey Hart. They were separated. Legally. Strangers moving toward divorce. August 9th, 2008, Carey's brother, Tony Hart, 21 years old, also a rider, crashes during a practice run at a track in Connecticut. He hits a barrier. Traumatic brain injury. He's airlifted to the hospital. He doesn't make it. Carey gets the call. And who shows up? Pink. They weren't together. She owed him nothing. She came anyway. At the memorial, at Carey's bar in Las Vegas, she took the stage. And she sang. People who were there said it was one of the most quietly devastating things they had ever witnessed. Two people who had officially broken up, who had written songs about each other, standing together over a loss that had nothing to do with their divorce. Insiders said it later. Something shifted after that night. Not immediately, not the next morning, but something moved. And by the spring of 2009, nearly 11 months since the separation, Carey calls Pink and asks her to come perform at his Las Vegas club on New Year's Eve. She goes. Later, in an interview with Redbook, she was asked the question everyone asks. Why did you get back together? Her answer, we just weren't done. By April 2009, they officially reconcile. The divorce is called off. They go to therapy, first separately, then together. And their therapist, Vanessa Lynn, would become someone Pink mentions by name in interviews for the next 15 years. Pink herself once wrote on Instagram about it openly. I got a lot of grief for telling people that Carey and I have been in couples counseling with Vanessa. So I talked to Vanessa on my own, and I also talked to Vanessa with Carey and for Carey and I. That's not weakness. That might honestly be the most mature thing I've ever heard a celebrity say about their marriage. In June 2011, their daughter Willow Sage is born. In December 2016, their son Jameson Moon. And here's where the story could have a pretty bow tied on it. But, of course, it doesn't. You know what I always respected about Pink? She never pretended her marriage was perfect. She once wrote on Instagram, "Marriage is awful, wonderful, comfort, rage, it's boring, frightening, and unpredictable." Another time she said, "Long-term relationships are not easy. It's much easier to stay on the surface and jump from relationship to relationship, because then you never have to work on the same problems that keep showing up." This wasn't a complaint. This was a description of a choice. And every January, every single January, she posted something for their wedding anniversary. In January 2025, the last one, 19 years ago on a beach in Costa Rica, we both took a chance on something neither of us were sure we believed in. I'm glad we did. You've been with me longer than without me. You've loved me, hated me, and loved me again. I love our story, whatever anyone says about it. In January 2026, no post, and that one missing post, just that, was enough for the tabloid headlines to declare the end of a 20-year marriage. But wait, because before that, there was something else. Something everyone quietly noticed but nobody wanted to say out loud. September 2025, New York. The last time they were photographed together in public. Photographers noticed no wedding rings on either of them. They looked tense. Sources told outlets the couple was going through a difficult stretch after Carey suffered a serious injury in May, a ruptured intestine, emergency hospitalization. Insiders said Pink sometimes struggles with his recklessness because she and the kids are the ones left waiting. And here's a detail that puts all of this in context. Over the course of his career, Carey Hart has broken more than 80 bones. 80. Pink was there for most of them. This isn't a metaphor, this is literally her life. On New Year's Eve, she's in the hospital with him, waiting on neck surgery and posts to Instagram. "I'm leaving all my pain in 2025. This year was hard. I said goodbye to important people and met new ones. I choose joy." Nobody connected the dots at the time. They should have. Because that post is exactly where February 26th begins. People magazine drops the story. Anonymous source. No comment from reps. 3 pieces of evidence. Not seen together since September. No wedding rings. No anniversary post in January. That's it. That's the entire foundation for declaring the end of a 20-year marriage. Pink finds out, and she goes live. Kitchen, no makeup, no spin. "So I was just alerted to the fact that I'm separated from my husband. I didn't know. Thank you, People magazine. Thank you, Us Weekly. Thank you for letting me know. I was wondering, would you also like to tell our children? My 14-year-old and 9-year-old are also unaware." Then, or do you want to talk about some real news? Do you want to talk about the Epstein files? Do you want to talk about systemic racism or misogyny in sports? Or do you maybe want to talk about the fact that I got nominated the first year I was eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And she ends the video. "Fake news. Not true. I love you all. Go with God." The caption. Like I always say, if you don't hear it from me, don't believe the hype. Stay tuned though. Who knows what could happen next? And that last line, "Who knows what could happen next," is the one that's been sitting with me ever since. She didn't say, "We're solid forever." She didn't say, "Everything is perfect." She said, "Don't believe the tabloids." Those are 2 very different things. I've been thinking about this story for a while now. And you know what gets me the most? Not the tabloids, not the missing ring, not even the missing anniversary post. It's how she responded. Most celebrities in this situation either go silent or release a carefully worded statement through their PR team. Pink walked into her kitchen. No makeup, no team, and said exactly what she thought, with sarcasm, because that's who she is. That is Pink. 25 years ago, she stood at the edge of a racetrack holding a cardboard sign. Today, she's standing in her kitchen holding a phone. Same energy, same person, direct, unfiltered, on her own terms. And here's what I keep coming back to. Through everything, 3 breakups, his brother's death, therapy, illnesses, 80 broken bones, she never played the role of the perfect Hollywood wife. She just showed up, sometimes angry, sometimes walking out the door, but always, eventually, coming back. Because as she said herself, we just weren't done. I've been thinking about this story for a while now. And you know what gets me the most? Not the tabloids, not the missing ring, not even the missing anniversary post. It's how she responded. Most celebrities in this situation either go silent or release a carefully worded statement through their PR team. Pink walked into her kitchen. No makeup, no team, and said exactly what she thought, with sarcasm, because that's who she is. That is Pink. 25 years ago, she stood at the edge of a racetrack holding a cardboard sign. Today, she's standing in her kitchen holding a phone. Same energy, same person, direct, unfiltered, on her own terms. And here's what I keep coming back to. Through everything, 3 breakups, his brother's death, therapy, illnesses, 80 broken bones, she never played the role of the perfect Hollywood wife. She just showed up, sometimes angry, sometimes walking out the door, but always, eventually, coming back. Because as she said herself, we just weren't done. I don't know what's happening behind closed doors for Pink and Carey right now. Nobody does, except them. But here's what I do know. This story is not about a perfect love. It's about 2 very complicated people who keep choosing each other. Not because it's easy, but because they decided to. And maybe that's the only real answer to the question everyone asks about long relationships. Not, how did you keep the love alive? But, why did you keep coming back? So I want to know what you think. Do you believe they're genuinely okay? Or is fake news not true doing a lot of heavy lifting here? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And next week, I have another story. A couple everyone called goals. Until one moment that changed everything, and almost no one saw it coming. You're going to want to stick around for that one.
With her piercing blue eyes, incredible charisma, and chameleon-like talent, she quickly became a fan favorite. And of course, a magnet for tabloid attention. But while we were swooning over her on-screen personas, behind the scenes, her real life was full of its own drama, packed with rumors, twists, and ultimately a true Hollywood fairy tale. So buckle up. This story includes heartbreaks, unexpected turns, and even a few beach romances you probably didn't see coming. And most importantly, we'll find out how Alexandra, after everything, found true happiness, and who her chosen one turned out to be. Spoiler, he's not a movie star at all. Logan Lerman, 2012 to 2015. Alexandra and Logan Lerman. This is the kind of story that starts on a film set and makes fans squeal with delight. They met while filming Percy Jackson in 2010, playing teenage lovers, and their on-screen chemistry was so convincing that many crossed their fingers, hoping it would continue off-screen. And lo and behold, it did. In 2014, Logan officially confirmed that he and Alexandra were engaged. It was one of those moments when Hollywood seemed to birth the perfect couple, young, stunning, and head over heels. They walked red carpets glowing with happiness, looking like they'd been plucked straight from the cover of a romance magazine. In one interview, Logan joked that Alexandra was the only person who could endure his jokes about teen angst and boring charm. Maybe that was their secret formula. For a while. But the fairy tale didn't last. In 2015, rumors of a breakup surfaced and were soon confirmed. The official reason? Busy schedules, which in Hollywood sounds about as convincing as saying you ran out of popcorn at a movie premiere. What did the whispers say behind the scenes? Some claimed Logan was too serious for Alexandra, who was just beginning her Hollywood climb and maybe wasn't ready for domestic bliss at the peak of her career. Others said it was simply puppy love that couldn't survive the harsh realities of showbiz. Months-long shoots, long-distance gaps. But was that really the only reason? Could it be someone else was already knocking on her heart's door? Maybe with a hint of ocean breeze? Zac Efron, 2017. After Alexandra donned that iconic red swimsuit for Baywatch, 2017, the world collectively held its breath. Starring opposite none other than Zac Efron, Hollywood's ultimate heartthrob with abs of steel. The on-screen chemistry between them was so sizzling that rumors of an off-screen romance hit like a tidal wave. They appeared together constantly at press events, joked around on social media, and Zac even wished her a happy birthday on Instagram, calling her the most real, grounded, stunning, smart, creative, loving, and rare Pokemon. If that's not a declaration of affection, what is? Fun fact, to debunk the romance rumors, Alexandra once posted a playful photo of her hugging Zac in front of a Baywatch promo poster. Classic Hollywood move. Just friends, but we look really good together. Whether there was a fling or just really good PR, the romance, if it existed, was as fleeting as a summer breeze. Officially, they were just friends with great on-screen chemistry. Some insiders believe the whole thing was a genius PR stunt to boost the film's visibility. After all, what's more click-worthy than two impossibly attractive co-stars possibly hooking up? Others suspected a short-lived but intense summer flirtation that simply never moved beyond the beach. Because not all love stories end in marriage, right? Especially when someone entirely different, far from the sandy shores and spotlights, was already appearing on the horizon. Maybe he wasn't an actor, but he sure knew how to manage large budgets. Brendan Wallace, 2018 to 2019. After her beachside escapades with Zac Efron, Alexandra seemed to want a change of scenery and a different kind of man. Enter Brendan Wallace, venture capitalist and co-founder of a major investment firm. No movie star drama, just power suits and spreadsheets. Maybe Alexandra was looking for stability, something quieter than the paparazzi circus. They were spotted together at multiple events, from Wimbledon to romantic strolls in Rome, confirming the romance. It felt like a very grown-up relationship. Elegant outings, no media frenzy, and an overall calm vibe. Unlike her actor exes, Brendan valued his privacy. Their relationship was like a well-guarded bank vault, secure and out of sight. Well, except for the times they accidentally left the door open for the cameras. But alas, it didn't last long. After just over a year, breakup rumors surfaced. The usual excuse: hectic schedules. Insiders said that despite Brendan's financial success, he was too busy for a full-on relationship with a globe-trotting actress. Others whispered that Alexandra may have realized even the most financially stable man can't always provide the emotional connection she craved. Or maybe, just maybe, she missed the film world. But this time, not the actors. Because someone very different was about to enter the frame. Someone who understood her on a deeper level. Because he worked in the same world, just from the other side of the camera. Andrew Form, 2020, present. And now, the grand finale of this romantic odyssey. During the quiet chaos of the COVID-19 pandemic, when the world slowed down, Alexandra Daddario met the man who would become her husband, producer Andrew Form. A real movie moment kind of meeting. Alexandra herself shared the story. They met on a New York City street during a walk. He turned around and said hi just as she looked back at him. Straight out of a rom-com, right? Their first date took place at the nearly empty Greenwich Hotel, thanks to lockdowns, making it all the more intimate and unforgettable. They got engaged in December 2021 and married in June 2022 in New Orleans at a stylish and unconventional ceremony in Preservation Hall, complete with a street parade. It felt like the happiest escape, not from prison, but into family life. In July 2024, Alexandra announced she was expecting, and on October 31st, 2024, she gave birth to their first child. Andrew, known for producing A Quiet Place and The Purge, understands the intensity of showbiz life. 16-hour shoot days in all. Which means he never has to ask, "So, were you playing a tree today?" Why, Andrew? Calm after the storm. After all the whirlwind Hollywood flings, Andrew, older than Alexandra and already a father of two from a previous marriage, brought stability and peace. Not for show, but for love. Their relationship feels genuine and refreshingly un-Hollywood. They share their lives, but without the PR circus. A rarity in the industry and a sign of real affection. A dream come true. Alexandra has often said she dreamed of having a family. And with Andrew, it seems that dream has come true. So the goddess in a bikini finally found her lifeguard. Not the kind with sunglasses and slow-mo beach runs, but one who pulled her out of the Hollywood rumor tide and into real, lasting love. And they lived happily ever after, with no drama, no scandals, and just a few Instagram-worthy moments, at least for now. So, what do you think? Which chapter of Alexandra's romantic saga surprised you the most?
She's had loud breakups, scandals, shattered relationships, but there's one little detail that nobody seems to notice. Every single time her heart gets broken, she comes back even more powerful, even richer, even stronger. Slows down, conspiratorial whisper. And at some point, I caught myself thinking, is this just coincidence? Or has Taylor Swift learned how to turn pain into the most profitable resource in her entire life? Let's dive into her relationships and finally find out the truth.
That guy's not in my life anymore, unfortunately. I know.
2008. Taylor is 18. Joe Jonas is her first public love. They date for a few months, and then he calls her and dumps her in 27 seconds, over the phone, smirking, amused. Later, she told the story on Ellen DeGeneres,
guy's not
live
my life
audience,
anymore.
laughing her head off.
I know.
This was the shortest breakup in history. But the song she wrote? It's called Forever and Always. And trust me, there's nothing funny about it. After that song dropped, she became the voice of an entire generation of teenagers. Every girl with a broken heart saw herself in Taylor, and that was her very first army, building energy, playful detective tone. Here's the important thing you need to understand about Taylor. She doesn't cry in public. She writes, and every man who ever hurt her got immortality, just not the kind he wanted. Jake Gyllenhaal learned that lesson better than anyone. 2010, Jake Gyllenhaal, the actor. He's 29, she's 20. He drops $160,000 to fly her on a private jet for a date. Super romantic, right? Then he dumps her. By text message, she writes all too well. 10 whole minutes. About the scarf she left at his place. About how he drove her home to her parents and didn't even say goodbye like a grown-up. About the age gap she felt every time he looked down at her. She hid that 10-minute version for 10 years, excited, fast, building suspense. Then in 2021, she finally releases it. And in one single day, she rewrites the entire internet. Not because it's just a song, but because she knows how to wait until the pain turns into a legend. Jake was 40 by then. The internet destroyed him. He put out a public statement calling the song artistic fiction. A week later, he deleted all the comments. That's what it means to be on her list. Conspiratorial, smirking. This isn't just a song anymore. This is collective memory. Millions of people who never even met them suddenly feel like it happened to them. Oh, and about the numbers? Red, Taylor's version, brought her tens of millions in revenue, and that 10-minute scarf song became the longest #1 in Billboard Hot 100 history. She made the world relive a 10-year-old drama and cashed in harder than most artists do in their entire careers. This isn't just revenge. This is a masterclass in product relaunch. 2015, and Calvin Harris. The DJ, her longest relationship before Joe Alwyn, 15 months. This is the first time she starts controlling the narrative herself, not hiding the pain, but playing with it. She even wrote a song for him under the fake name Niels Sjoberg so nobody would know. They break up in May 2016. Playful but sharp. 2 weeks later, she's photographed on the beach with Tom Hiddleston. The whole world is laughing. Getaway car! Yeah, she wrote that one about herself. She knew it was a mistake. 3 months. He tells the press it was real. That I Heart TS tank top painted on the rocks in Rhode Island is forever burned into internet history. Psychologists call this a rebound relationship. You know, after a long, serious one, you jump into the first thing that makes you feel alive again. It rarely ends well, but sometimes it gives you killer album material. 2016, Met Gala. She meets Joe Alwyn. British actor, quiet, private, the complete opposite of everything that came before, and that's exactly why it worked. She later said in an interview, "For the first time, I felt like I could live a normal life. Not on stage, not in headlines, just live. 6 years, almost no public photos, no scandals, no big stories. It was like she disappeared and became a regular person." She even co-wrote under his pseudonym William Bowery. They won a Grammy together for Folklore. Her quietest, most intimate songs. No drama, no revenge, no pain. Slower, thoughtful, slight sadness. And here's the weird part. This was the most stable period of her life, and the quietest period of her career. Almost like, without pain, there's no story, no conflict, no material. A source close to them later said they fell in love inside a safe little bubble. She was pulling back from the world during Reputation, then the pandemic hit and they were isolated again. He never really knew her outside that bubble. He couldn't handle the scale of her fame. Excited whisper, detective mode. Now here's the detail almost nobody noticed. December 2021. She writes, "You're losing me," and hides it. That moment when it's already over, but you can't admit it yet. When you're already saying goodbye, but you're still staying. She sings, "Why aren't you fighting for me? Say something, do something, choose me. He didn't choose her. April 2023, the official breakup. And then what happens? She comes back, but not as the same woman. She drops the Tortured Poets Department, an album literally named after his group chat with his friends. This isn't just music. This is the final word. 6 years of the quietest chapter of her life. Minimum pain, minimum noise. Then the breakup hits, and she delivers one of the most talked about albums in years. It's like she didn't just survive it. She turned it into a global event, a moment the whole world lived through with her. Building intensity. And this is where it gets really interesting, because for the first time, the question isn't about the men anymore. What if the pain itself is the fuel for the most powerful version of her? The numbers don't lie. The Tortured Poets Department smashed every streaming record, over 300 million streams on Spotify in a single day. In the first week alone, it sold 2.6 million copies. When Taylor stays quiet, she loses momentum. When she speaks her pain, she brings the entire industry to its knees. May 2023. Just weeks after Joe, she's seen with Matty Healy, frontman of the 1975. 1 month, she writes about him. The smallest man who ever lived. That's not a metaphor. That's the actual song title. Sassy, knowing smirk. Psychologists spot the exact same pattern as after Calvin and Tom. After a long, heavy relationship comes a short, bright rebound, which she herself calls a mistake before it even ends. But this time, the next one turns out different. And here's what I just can't stop thinking about. Every single time they broke her heart, she didn't just survive it. She turned it into music. Music into power. Power into billions. Pause. Voice drops lower. Conspiratorial whisper. But then the question gets a little dangerous. What if the strongest version of Taylor is the version that's hurting? Building emotion, thoughtful pace. And what happens when she's finally happy? When no one's breaking her heart anymore? When there's nothing left to write about? Will we meet a brand new Taylor? Or will we lose the one the whole world has been listening to for years? Sassy, direct, playful challenge, smirking tone. Be honest with me. Do you want her to be happy? Or do you secretly hope she writes one more perfect heartbreak album? Slightly faster, knowing laugh in voice. Because according to analysts, every major breakup gives her an average 15 to 25% boost in streaming. She turns the pain into music, and the music turns into billions.
Selena Gomez, the multi-talented singer, actress, and producer, has lived a life under the spotlight, and her love life has been a topic of fascination for fans and media worldwide. From her early Disney days to her reign as a global pop icon, Selena's relationships have showcased her vulnerability, growth, and strength. In this video, we'll explore Selena's complete dating history, uncovering how she met her significant others, the dynamics of her relationships, and the reasons behind their endings. Nick Jonas, 2008. Selena Gomez and Nick Jonas first met in 2008 during their Disney Channel days. Both rising stars, their shared experiences in the entertainment industry brought them closer. Selena even appeared in the Jonas Brothers' music video for Burnin' Up, fueling rumors of their romance. Their relationship was youthful, innocent, and sweet. Selena and Nick were often spotted attending events together, and they quickly became one of Disney Channel's most loved couples. Selena later described Nick as her first love, and their brief romance left a lasting impression. Their relationship ended after only a few months, reportedly due to their busy schedules and the pressures of being in the public eye. Despite the breakup, they remained friends and have since spoken fondly of each other in interviews. Taylor Lautner, 2009. Selena met Taylor Lautner in 2009 while filming Ramona and Beezus in Vancouver. At the same time, Taylor was shooting the Twilight Saga New Moon in the same city, and they crossed paths through mutual connections. Their romance was lighthearted and relaxed. The two were seen enjoying casual dates and spending time together in Vancouver. Selena once mentioned that Taylor was a great guy who made her feel special during their brief time together. Their relationship ended after a few months, largely due to the overwhelming media attention. Despite the short-lived romance, Selena and Taylor remained on good terms. Justin Bieber, 2010 to 2014. Selena and Justin Bieber met in 2009 through their managers, but their romantic relationship began in late 2010. By early 2011, the couple went public at the Vanity Fair Oscar party, officially marking the beginning of their highly publicized romance. Selena and Justin, affectionately nicknamed Yelena, had a passionate but tumultuous relationship. During their happier moments, they were seen traveling together, attending red carpet events, and supporting each other's careers. Both wrote songs inspired by their relationship, with Selena's "The Heart Wants What It Wants" and Justin's "Sorry" capturing their emotional highs and lows. Their on-again, off-again romance lasted until 2014, with several breakups and reconciliations in between. The final split occurred when Justin married Hailey Baldwin later that year. Selena later admitted that their relationship taught her valuable lessons about self-love and independence. Orlando Bloom, 2014. Selena and Orlando Bloom were first linked in 2014 after being spotted together at a Chelsea Handler Netflix special. While never officially confirmed, their connection was described as playful and flirtatious. The two were often seen together at events and shared a mutual admiration for each other's personalities. Their rumored romance ended naturally, and they remained friends. Selena later referred to Orlando as a wonderful person. Zed, 2015. Selena and DJ Zed, Anton Zaslavsky, started dating in early 2015 after collaborating on their hit single, "I Want You to Know." Their professional partnership quickly turned romantic. Their relationship was playful and affectionate. Zed spoke openly about his admiration for Selena, and the couple often shared sweet moments on social media. Fans loved their chemistry, both in the studio and in real life. Their romance ended after a few months due to the challenges of long distance and media pressure. Zed later revealed that the constant paparazzi attention made their relationship difficult, but he cherished the time they spent together. Niall Horan, 2015. Selena and One Direction member Niall Horan met through mutual friends in the music industry. Their relationship was casual, with the two enjoying low-key dates and outings. Niall expressed his admiration for Selena, calling her genuine and lovely. By early 2016, they had drifted apart, remaining friendly and supportive of each other's careers. Charlie Puth, 2016. Selena met Charlie Puth while working on their duet, "We Don't Talk Anymore." Their shared passion for music brought them together. Their connection was described as brief but intense. Charlie was vocal about his feelings for Selena, calling her amazing and praising her talent. The two shared a strong musical and emotional bond during their collaboration. Their romance ended quietly, with both moving on to focus on their careers. Charlie later admitted in an interview that the relationship, though short, had a significant impact on him emotionally. Samuel Crost, 2016. Samuel Crost, a New York businessman and close friend of Gigi Hadid, met Selena at a fashion event in 2016. Their relationship was brief but passionate. Samuel and Selena were spotted holding hands on multiple occasions, and their connection seemed genuine. Samuel reportedly admired Selena's kindness and strength. Their romance ended within a few months, with Selena choosing to focus on her health and career. Samuel later hinted at their relationship in a heartfelt Instagram post, expressing gratitude for their time together. Now The Weeknd, 2017. Selena and The Weeknd, Abel Tesfaye, began dating in January 2017 after being introduced by mutual friends. Their relationship became public after they were photographed kissing during a date in Santa Monica. Their romance was marked by grand gestures and deep emotional support. Selena joined Abel on his Starboy, Legend of the Fall tour, and he stood by her side during her kidney transplant recovery. They frequently shared their affection on social media, making them a beloved celebrity couple. Their relationship ended amicably in October 2017, with both citing busy schedules as the main reason. Despite the split, Selena described Abel as one of the best people she had ever met. Andrea Iervolino, 2022. Selena met Italian producer Andrea Iervolino during a work collaboration. They sparked dating rumors after being seen on a yacht together in Italy. Their dynamic appeared friendly yet flirtatious, with Andrea showing clear admiration for Selena. By late 2022, their rumored romance had faded, with both focusing on their careers. Drew Taggart, 2022. Selena and Chainsmokers member Drew Taggart were linked after being spotted bowling together. Their relationship was casual and fun, marked by playful dates and mutual support. By 2023, the two had amicably ended their relationship, remaining friends. Zayn Malik, 2023. Selena and Zayn were rumored to be dating in 2023 after being spotted dining together in New York City. Their connection was described as easygoing and comfortable, with mutual respect and admiration. Their romance appeared brief, with busy schedules making it hard to sustain. Benny Blanco, 2023 present, reportedly started dating in July 2023, but chose to keep their relationship private to avoid media scrutiny. In December 2023, the couple officially confirmed their relationship by sharing joint photos on social media. Selena explained that by sharing a part of their personal lives, they hope to reduce paparazzi interest and maintain some level of privacy. By December 2024, Selena and Benny announced their engagement, posting photos of the engagement ring alongside heartfelt captions. Fans celebrated the couple's milestone, expressing excitement about their journey together. In January 2025, the couple signed a prenuptial agreement, emphasizing that the decision was made to protect their individual accomplishments and ensure a secure future together. Selena and Benny are currently preparing for their wedding, with details still under wraps. Fans eagerly await this special occasion and wish the couple happiness and harmony in their life together. Thus, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco's relationship progressed rapidly, beginning as a private romance in 2023 and evolving into an engagement and wedding plans by 2025. Their love story has captivated fans worldwide and remains one of the most talked about topics in the entertainment industry.